In the frozen expanse of Russia's Ural Mountains, 9 lives ended in terror on a bitter February night in 1959. Their campsite was discovered in ruins, tents ripped from the inside, bare footprints trailing into the icy darkness, and bodies scattered with injuries that defied logic. What drove experienced hikers to their deaths in such a grotesque and chaotic manner? And why, over 6 decades later, does this mystery still haunt investigators? Welcome to Horror and Crime. This is Short Scares and Quick Crime Bites, where we unravel chilling stories in under 20 minutes, fast, focused, and unforgettable. In today's episode, we'll follow the final, fateful journey of the Dyatlov group, peeling back the layers of one of the most bizarre and unsettling mysteries ever recorded. In just 9 minutes, you'll explore the eerie details of a tragedy that's left experts and conspiracy theorists alike scrambling for answers: fractured bones without external wounds, bizarre radioactivity, and theories that range from natural disasters to military experiments, or even something beyond human comprehension. The clock is ticking. What happened on that desolate mountain over 60 years ago? Let's dive straight into the heart of the Dyatlov Pass Incident, where the only certainty is that nothing about it makes sense. Our story begins in late January 1959, when a group of 10 young adventurers, students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, set out on what should have been an exhilarating trek through the snowy wilderness. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, the team included some of the Institute's most skilled and resilient hikers, all eager to conquer the frigid slopes of Kolat-Syakhl, or Dead Mountain, as the Monsey people called it. Initially, 10 hikers embarked on the journey, but one, Eerie, was forced to turn back early due to illness. His decision would save his life, leaving him the sole survivor of the group's doomed expedition. The remaining 9 pressed on, completely unaware of the horrors awaiting them. The hikers were meticulous in documenting their journey, jotting down daily entries and snapping cheerful photos along the way. These fragments of their final days would later provide chilling glimpses into the ordinary moments before catastrophe struck. On February 1st, the group set up camp on an exposed slope near the pass, despite being within reach of a forested area that could have offered shelter from the brutal winds. Why they chose this spot remains unclear. Perhaps they wanted to test their limits or simply ran out of daylight. Whatever the reason, it would be their last night alive. Days passed without any communication from the hikers. Concerned, friends and family raised the alarm, and a search party was dispatched. What rescuers found defied all reason, evidence of a night so chaotic, so unexplainable, that it would leave even seasoned investigators grasping at straws. The tent had been slashed open from the inside. Clothing, food, and supplies were left behind, untouched. Even stranger were the barefoot tracks leading away from the camp, as though the hikers had fled into the snow in a blind panic, some clad only in their undergarments. What could have driven them to such madness? Then came the most unsettling discoveries of all. Scattered across the mountainside, the bodies of the hikers told a story even more baffling than the torn tent. But what rescuers found next would turn confusion into outright terror. Rescuers found the first 2 bodies at the edge of a nearby forest, nearly a mile from the torn tent. Yuri Krivonischenko and Georgy Doroshenko were barefoot, wearing only underwear, and huddled near the remains of a small fire. Their hands and feet were severely frostbitten, and their skin bore strange burns. Nearby, broken branches on a tree suggested they had desperately climbed to escape something. A short distance away, the bodies of Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, and Rustam Slobodin were found. All 3 appeared to have been crawling back toward the tent but never made it. Rustam's skull bore a small fracture, though it wasn't considered fatal. Strangely, no external wounds matched the internal injuries. It wasn't until 2 months later that the remaining 4 hikers were discovered, buried beneath 13 feet of snow in a ravine. This is where the mystery takes an even darker turn. Nikolai Thibeaux-Brignol's skull was crushed with a force equivalent to a high-speed car crash. Ludmila Dubinina and Semyon Zolotaryov suffered shattered ribs, and Ludmila's tongue was missing, ripped out at the root. Despite the severity of these injuries, there were no external wounds or signs of struggle. Investigators were baffled. What kind of force could cause such trauma without leaving a mark on the skin? And then there was the radiation. Traces of radioactive material were found on some of the hikers' clothing, adding another layer of inexplicable strangeness. Speculation spiraled out of control. Was this evidence of secret military tests? Or something even more sinister? Theories began to emerge. Some pointed to the Soviet military, suggesting that the group had stumbled into a secret weapons test. Others claimed it was an avalanche, though the evidence didn't align. And then there were the more outlandish ideas: alien encounters, Yeti attacks, or even a paranormal force that defied comprehension. But the case grew even murkier with reports from local Nazi hunters, who described seeing strange orange lights in the sky on the night of the hikers' deaths. These glowing orbs were corroborated by other witnesses miles away, feeding theories of extraterrestrial involvement. Despite countless investigations, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved. In 2020, a renewed effort by Russian authorities concluded that an avalanche was the likely cause. But critics pointed out glaring inconsistencies: the lack of typical avalanche signs, the unusual injuries, and the inexplicable behavior of the hikers. Was this just another attempt to close the case and silence the questions? Others argue that natural phenomena, like a rare wind pattern called a katabatic wind, might explain the hikers' panic. This intense, sudden downdraft could have caused terrifying sounds and a rapid drop in temperature, pushing the group to flee their tent. But even this fails to account for the injuries found on the bodies. Then there are the supernatural and extraterrestrial theories. Eyewitness accounts of glowing lights in the sky, coupled with the region's rich tapestry of Nazi legends, fuel speculation that something beyond human understanding played a role that night. Were they victims of an unexplainable cosmic event, or are we searching for answers where there are none? Perhaps the most haunting aspect of this case isn't the lack of answers, but the sheer number of possibilities. Each theory raises more questions than it resolves, leaving a legacy of fear, intrigue, and endless speculation. For the families of the 9 hikers, however, the mystery is not about theories or conspiracies. It is about the unimaginable loss of loved ones who vanished into the cold, leaving behind only fragments of a terrifying story. Even now, over 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident continues to fascinate and terrify in equal measure. The truth, it seems, is as buried in snow and time as those 9 young lives. And perhaps that is the ultimate mystery: why some stories refuse to give up their secrets, no matter how deeply we dig. You've just witnessed the strange and haunting mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident: 9 lives lost, countless questions unanswered, and a legacy that continues to defy explanation. What do you think happened that fateful night? Was it an avalanche, a military cover-up, or something far beyond our understanding? We want to hear your theories. Share them in the comments below. This has been another episode of Short Scares and Quick Crime Bites from Horror and Crime. If you enjoy unraveling these chilling mysteries, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss a story. These short bites are just the beginning. Stay with us for deeper dives into the world's most terrifying and baffling cases. Next time, we'll bring you the unsettling story of the Hinterkaifeck murders, the Farmstead massacre. In 1922 Germany, 6 family members were brutally killed at their remote farmhouse. Strange footprints and eerie sounds were reported days before the killings, leaving investigators baffled even a century later. This tale of paranoia and brutality will leave you questioning what truly lurked in the shadows of Hinterkaifeck. And remember, some mysteries are never meant to be solved, but they're always meant to be shared. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next short scare.